What's going on, everybody? Chaseontwowheels here, and I know we're mostly bike fam situations, but if you guys have been fans long enough, about 2 years ago, you might remember a couple videos I did. Polaris sent out a Slingshot. That's that little three-wheeled, drive it like a car situation, but you're out in the open stuff. But anyway, they sent one out to me, gave it to me for a couple weeks. I actually learned how to drive a car with a stick on that. So yeah, Polaris makes the actual Slingshot. Anyway, that was a fun time. That was like a couple years ago, and the other day, Polaris, the people over at Slingshot, they sent us another email. They were like, hey, we got a new Slingshot coming out. We want you to come out to the press launch event, make a little video about it, and check it out. And I was like, bruh, I can't. I'm gonna be in Disney World doing a half marathon with my wife, so like, can't do it. But luckily, I have a traveling correspondent that I was able to send in my stead who got to go check out the new Slingshot, drive it around, and see what he thought about it. So I'm gonna let Luke take this video over. He's the one that actually went out to Las Vegas and had to ride a Slingshot around beautiful desert all over the place. Kind of jealous, not gonna talk about it anymore, but I'm gonna let Luke go from here because I don't know anything about it except for the fact that it can shift manually, automatically. I'll let Luke talk about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Godspeed.
How do you want me to start it? Hey everybody, so field correspondent Luke here, fresh back from Las Vegas, from the Polaris Slingshot launch event. So the three main things that have changed since last year's model: it's a brand new engine, 30 more horsepower, brand new steering, and brand new transmission. You can get it in automatic with the Autodrive system, and then you can get it in a standard manual transmission. So at the launch party, they unveiled there's going to be two different models. There's going to be the R model and the SL model. The R model comes in at $30,999 for a manual and $32,699 for Autodrive. Those are available in Stealth Black and Miami Blue. The SL is available with Autodrive for $26,499 in Red Pearl and Blue Steel. So one of the very first things that's going to stand out as being very different from previous models of the Polaris Slingshot is going to be Polaris actually moved away from the GM engine that they had in it, which I believe was hitting around 170 horsepower. They've switched to a ProStar 2.0 four-cylinder engine that delivers up to 203 horsepower at 8250 RPM. Which is about 30 horsepower at the crank difference from last year's. So it's a completely different engine. The Slingshot that Chase had driven previously on the channel was a manual transmission. New out for the 2020 version is going to be a automatic version of the transmission. It's something they refer to as Autodrive, which essentially is a automatic transmission that feels like a manual. To a light and you're going 50, you start, smashing on the brake a little bit, it's going to jump from fourth gear, it's going to downshift into third, bringing the RPMs up for you automatically. You're just pressing on the brake. The exhaust sounds amazing, the engine sounds amazing. They did a really, really good job with that power plant and how it delivers everything, how the transmission reacts around that. The Slingshot's gonna have two driving modes on it. It's gonna have comfort mode and it's gonna have Slingshot mode. Comfort and Slingshot mode is just gonna change how the Autodrive reacts to how you mash on the pedal. It's gonna be a quicker uptake, of course, in Slingshot mode. One of the things that stood out to me about the steering was It wasn't necessarily twitchy, but it was very responsive. There's not a lot of slack in the steering wheel. It's you know, you can kind of point it into wherever you want to go, and you're getting kind of that feedback of what the road's giving you and everything. Like I said, I'm not really a car guy, but this really isn't a car either. It's in the middle of everything. It's a three-wheeled car, it's a three-wheeled motorcycle that you sit in and have a steering wheel on. So it's this kind of weird experience, but it's different. And I think that's the main part that Polaris is trying to put across, is that the Polaris Slingshot is different. I think that they're listening to the audience and they're listening to the feedback that their customers are telling them about improvements that need to be made about certain things. I mean, they completely got a new engine. They redid the steering and they redid the rear suspension. So my advice would be to experience it for yourself and form your own opinions about it. Polaris is doing something that's outside of the norm, outside of the realm, and that's good. It seems strange at first, I guess, but you know, we don't want to become this kind of stagnant market. The power sports industry, you know, needs innovation. It needs this one weird thing that's gonna influence this, you know? So Polaris is making moves. I would say go out, test ride one, and form your own opinion, and let me know how it goes in the comments down below. At least, you know, have an open opinion about it. Kind of give it a chance. You might have fun. So, see you guys.
So, as you can tell, that thing looks dope. And Slingshot said that they might be sending one out here so I can get to ride it. So, yay! If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and give Luke a shout out in the comments. Let him know how it did in the video. I'm Chaseontwowheels, that was Luke. We will see you guys on the next one. Alright, outro crew, let me know. If you guys were on vacation and you had to rent a Mazda Miata or a Slingshot, which one would you pick? Not a really fair question, but had to ask you something. Okay, love you a long time, bye.
What are you fucking doing? This is technically considered a motorcycle, so people will try to pull out in front of you. Can confirm.